Good evening, friends and family. This is Micah Wolf Parsons coming to you from Wolf Customs in Neosho, Missouri. I haven't done a video update on the Humvee for a week now, so I thought it was time for me to grab the camera and start recording. So I've been really busy as usual. Thank goodness this Humvee is getting closer to being finished. I still have I probably have a month of work left, but I have 15 months behind me, so I feel pretty good about that. I want to start out like just a quick little thing on the hood. This is the original Humvee paint, and so what happened when I was trying to do the bed coating on the inside of the vehicle, I accidentally splattered some bed coating across here, and you can still see some down there. So I was trying to get that off, and then I tried to, I got it off, and then I tried to buff it and clean it up, and it turned everything chalky. And I was like, oh man, how am I going to fix that? Well, transmission fluid works wonders for a Humvee hood. I'm telling you, it got rid of all the chalkiness, and it just gave it a, it brought out like just a matte, just a real low gloss to it, which matches the fresh paint on the rest of the vehicle. So I'm pretty happy about that. I just wanted to point that out. So I'll walk back. Another little thing I did, this particular Humvee was equipped with the fording, with the exhaust that came up real high on this side, and it had some real gnarly holes drilled right here, and the aluminum was kind of distorted from the exhaust being bolted there. So I made this new plate, and then I put a spade in it. I don't know why, I just thought it looked cool. I'm glad I did it. So the last video I was talking about working on the inside, and I believe I had all these panels made, but I had not painted them yet. I told you about my ideas for painting, as far as doing the green, and then sanding off the top of the diamonds, and then in this case I went ahead and I did a matte clear. I used of all things Rust-Oleum epoxy clear for garage floors, because I thought, well, hey, that's got to be pretty durable, and it really worked out good. I think it has a nice finish, and I'm just really happy with how these panels turned out. I thought I would have them all in by middle of the morning, and I have worked on these panels all day long. It just and I already had them fit, but I packed all of the voids with a foam, and I really packed it in there. So I was kind of fighting pushing foam down and getting bolts started and putting in my rivets, but I think they turned out really good. That's the view from inside. It's a huge improvement over the way it used to be. And of course the floor, before I put this tread plate down, it was all beat up, and then I had that catastrophe with my products that I won't mention any names, but a sound control, and then a temperature control product, and they lifted up, or actually the sound control worked fine, because it didn't peel up. In places that I only did the sound control, it stayed stuck, but the places where I put the temperature control on top, that's where it peeled. And anyway, but that's behind me. So let me get out here, move around, say hey.
Hey.
He's a man of few words. So that he says he's a supervisor, but I just I give him enough rope to think he's a supervisor, but he's really not. So I put a piece of tread plate on the tailgate too, and again I filled up the void within the tailgate with like a pourable foam, and I mean, everything just sounds so dense now. And it quieted the vehicle down some, driving down the road. And as you can see, I put Cobra style gas caps on it, which are pretty cool. Just open them up, put the fuel in there. And again, I have 12-gallon fuel tanks behind these. Not crazy about having my fuel tanks in here, but I made these nice covers. So I took a lemon and made lemonade. But I told you about the fuel tank situation in my last video, how we didn't want to use the saddle tank. And so we had no other choice if we were going to put tanks in with any kind of capacity. We had to do 12 on each side. So 2 fuel caps. Oh, I wanted to point out, I'll move over here. I don't know if I shared this on a previous video, but this is where the fuel used to go in, and it had a, you know, when I took that out, it had a big gaping hole there. So I made this panel, and then I wanted something to dress it up. So this is the eagle off the top of the Marine Corps insignia. So in here, I was planning ahead for a subwoofer, and I kind of like the Kicker. Oh, well, let me back up. Kicker is going to sponsor me. I love Kicker products. So anyway, I was originally looking at the 8-inch tube subwoofers, and I couldn't tell you the part number off the top of my head. So I set this bolt pattern up for that. That's why there's extra bolts there. So when I actually get the Kicker products, I can just zip these bolts out and bolt the brackets down. I had to space this up because the you know, the bottom of where the fuel cap is now, the bottom of it is touching the top of the fuel tank, or the, you know, fuel cell filler neck. So I had to raise the panels up. That's okay, because it gave me, I packed foam in here, and it's way quieter now. I packed foam up behind this panel too. So anyway, let me get back out of here. So lastly on the video, and by the way, thank you for sticking with me so far. In 10 days, the Stray Cat 500 in Dewey, Oklahoma is going on. It's a great car show. It's more traditional hot rods and customs, but the show promoter likes the Humvee. I asked him if I could bring it, so we'll see how it goes over. You know, those 50 Mercury guys may be like, what's the chop top Humvee doing here? But then again, they may really like it. I don't know. And then after the Stray Cat 500, since we're halfway to Stillwater, Oklahoma, we're just going to take a little road trip in the Humvee and go over to the Kicker headquarters and spend a little time there. I'm going to meet my contact who's working with me on the sponsorship and just tour the facility. So I'm real excited about that. And the update on the wheels, I talked to my contacts out at U.S. Wheel Corporation today. They're running just a little bit behind on the wheels. No big deal. But they'll probably have them done the next couple weeks. I know I've said that before, but they're just, hey, it's like, I'm just so thankful for the sponsorship. I'm not going to fuss about, waiting, because the wait is totally worth it. So, anyway, and they said they're going to send photos of the wheels being made and possibly a video. So I'll be sharing that with you guys as well. So anyway, that pretty much wraps it up tonight. I really appreciate you checking out my videos. Yeah, leave a comment below. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. I always like to hear from you guys, and I really appreciate your support in my social media. So have a great evening. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.